Hello friends, I am going to be 40 in 6 months' time, so I am recording the experience of being a really old model in a job which is kind of a young person's game. So I feel like as the kind of raw materials I get to work with, you know, my body, my face, my hair, start to degrade, the skills I need as a model get more and more advanced. So today I'm going to talk you through some of the facial techniques specifically that I have found to help me deal with the fact that my face is gradually kind of sagging off my bones, which is an inevitable aspect of aging. Now, I don't feel particularly miserable about this fact. I just think realistically I need to confront it and keep working on ways to make myself look like a model. First of all, a disclaimer, you need to use these techniques sparingly and subtly. Now, we all know about duck face and we all know that it's a terrible look. However, it is true that we find it almost impossible not to do, or at least some of us do. And the reason for that is, I guess that at the moment we all want bigger lips. I want bigger lips, absolutely. If you look close, you'll see that my upper lip is thinner than my lower lip, and I think most of us want well-balanced ones. Now, there's a certain amount you can do with makeup. You can do lip liner, you can do lip gloss, you can kind of create a fake upper lip. But I have developed a few techniques, one of which is, I like to call it the Emily Blunt overbite, because Emily Blunt, the actress, has a gorgeous mouth and she has this upper lip which is actually, I think, sort of plumper than her lower lip, which gives her this overbite look, which I think is really beautiful. It's tricky to do, but I've discovered that if you shove your lower lip behind your upper lip like this, it doesn't look good yet, don't worry. And then gradually release it. You will get to a point where you have, just for a few seconds, and you can hold it if you get good at this, you get the kind of Emily Blunt overbite effect. So let me try to demonstrate. It just gives you a little bit of a fatter upper lip. I also call it the duck face minor, because it's only a very small version of duck face that I think you can, if you use it judiciously, you can get away with it. And it looks very good, I think, from profile. So have a look. Yeah, amazing. The second technique, which is pretty basic, and I think a lot of us probably already employ this, is what I like to call cheekbone face, which you do by just sucking your face in. So this is a really coarse example of it. And you see how your cheekbones kind of pop out, but obviously you also look like a fish. But you can do it subtly. And you just get a hint of cheekbone that you wouldn't get normally. I've got a fat face, so I never get that cheekbone line. Of course you can fake it with makeup, but for still pictures at least, you can do the cheekbone face. And it just looks a little more refined than your big old fat face. Well, my big old fat face. We also have the Keira Knightley exhale, which is another technique for lips. Now, I'm pretty sure that Keira Knightley actually naturally has a pretty narrow upper lip, but God, she works her mouth. I think what she's doing is exhaling, blowing her lips out as she does it. Keira Knightley exhale from the side. So 2 ways for faking big lips for still photography. Sadly, it doesn't work on video because you can hear the weird exhale. If you combine the Keira Knightley exhale with cheekbone face, you can get a particularly sculpture effect. Now, it's very hard to smile at the same time as this, so it does tend to give you a pretty deadpan look, and you cannot employ this all the time. That would give you a very, very dangerously dull, mono-expressive face, so you need to use it very judiciously, very judiciously. The next technique I use is a little harder, but my God, it's so useful. I call this one always be chinning. Now, some of you will not need this. Some people have an amazing jawline anyway. I think the ideal jaw to neckline is a right angle. So from the side, you'd have a horizontal here and you'd have a vertical here, like this. Unfortunately, many of us are not blessed with such a strong looking jaw. Like mine from the side is pretty diagonal, and it disappoints me because I feel like it doesn't give me the sculpted jawline I would like for photographs. So from the side, it's diagonal, and to my eyes it looks a bit saggy and baggy. And between you and me, I think it's got worse as I've got older. So always be chinning is a way to neutralise it. The technique is to basically suck your tongue up to the roof of your mouth. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You can't breathe while you do it. Now, to my eyes, this does improve my jawline quite a lot, so maybe it will improve yours as well, especially if you're old. Let me just demonstrate one more time from the side. 1, 2, 3. And maybe a really advanced practitioner could combine always be chinning with cheekbone face, but I cannot do that, not yet. But maybe by the time I'm 45, I'll have had to learn. The next technique is a little bit of a desperate one, and you really cannot overuse this one. Very, very important, because it can look absolutely loony. However, my face, because it's fat, is beginning to droop. And the more it droops, the more I will get lines between my nose and my mouth and lines between my mouth and my jawline. Now, this is not a youthful or beautiful look. So occasionally, when people are shooting headshots, I like to cheat a little, because what I'd really like is a facelift, but obviously I'm too young to have a facelift and I don't really want to spend the money. But you can create a facelift with your fingers as long as the photographer allows you to bring your hands into play. So quite often, if my hands are in shot on my face, I just subtly pull it back. And you can do all your faces while pulling the skin back from your face and creating instant, temporary youth. My final technique for you is called never, 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 never look down, because light does cruel things when you look down. It creates bags under your eyes, you look older, you look sadder, and you look slightly sinister. So my final tip is always look up. People look prettier when they look up in almost all lights, but because light is often coming, broadly speaking, from above, looking up into it gives you light in your eyes, and it also smooths away wrinkles and sagging on your face. So even if a photographer asked me to look down, I might only very slightly look down, but then gradually move up again. Or move my body down, but carry on looking up. So those are my tips for an aging model, or a model who just has a naturally saggy face, to help you when you're being photographed by stills photographers to just look your best, or at least look the way you think you're at your best, because I think this is what it's really about. My husband, who's a photographer, finds some of these techniques ludicrous and says I should never do them. However, quite often I do them and he doesn't notice because I'm employing them carefully. I do want to offer you some value and some tips that might stand you in good stead in the future with your face. Goodbye from me.